Hello friends, welcome to Engineering Funda family. In this video, I am going to explain you few very interesting parameters which is there regarding CPU's performance. Like what is the execution time which is there with given CPU. Like I'll explain you how to identify average CPI. CPI means clock per instruction. As well as I'll explain you how to identify CPU's performance based on MIPS. MIPS means millions instructions per second. So these parameters that you need to understand how CPU is giving its performance. Let me explain you all those things by basic details. Like as if you want to execute one program inside CPU, what you will be doing? You will be executing instructions. So you should know one program that is made up of sets of instructions. Now CPU is executing those instructions one by one. And when CPU is executing one instruction, at that time it is performing micro operations. Micro operations, or you can say micro instruction execution, that is being done by CPU. Like for example, when you execute one instruction, at that time there can be various micro operations like opcode fetch, like instruction decode, like execute instruction, like there may be decode operand, like you may need to write back the result. So likewise there can be various micro operations that is there inside single instruction, right? So let us try to understand all those basics first, then you can easily understand how we can identify CPU's performance. So as I have told you, when you want to understand how program that is being executed by CPU, then my dear students, you should know program is made up of instructions, and inside instructions you will be observing there are micro operations, or you can say micro instructions. So to execute single program, sets of instructions are executed by CPU, and inside instruction there are micro operations or micro instructions, right? Here my dear students, these micro operations, or you can say micro instructions, those are being executed with respect to clock. Like you might have heard all those things when you go for purchase of any computer. At that time they are giving you specifications like clock frequency is 2.4 gigahertz, 3.2 gigahertz. So that explains you how fast your CPU will execute micro operations. Like for example, as if I give you 2 gigahertz of processor, right? Then in single second, 2 into 10 to the power 9, that many clock cycles that will be given over here. So higher the clock rate, higher the speed of execution, right? So you will be observing those micro operations, those are happening with respect to clock cycles, or you can say cycles, right? Cycles means that is based on clock frequency that we provided to CPU, right? So here this micro operations that is happening with respect to cycles, and that is purely based on what is the clock frequency that we give it to CPU, right? Now here, once you understand how fast micro operations are executed as per clock, you should be having basic idea about how instruction is executed, right? And that is happening with respect to CPI. CPI means clock per instruction. Let me explain you what is the meaning of it. See, clock per instruction means what? How many clock cycles that we need to have it to execute one instruction. Here my dear students, this CPI that will vary with respect to categories of instructions. Like there are few instructions, like you can have arithmetic instructions, right? So that will be taking bit less time compared to memory reference instructions. So when you execute memory reference instruction, at that time you need to have more clock per instruction, means more CPI. But as if instructions are executed inside CPU only, like by using registers of CPU, as if you execute instruction, in that case you will be having less requirement of clock cycles, right? So here later I'll explain you how to identify average CPI, but first of all you should understand one thing. To execute one instruction, how many clocks are required, that is been explained by CPI, right? And once you identify CPI, you can understand how program is getting executed. Let me explain you how. Let us say you are having 100 instructions in one program. Now you know how many CPIs are there. Like let us say I'm giving you randomly a average CPI is 4. So in that case how many clock cycles are required to execute 100 instructions? 100 into 4 means 400 clock cycles that we need to have it to have execution of one program that is having 100 instructions, right? Now, once you have idea about what is the clock, let us say 1 gigahertz. So, one clock that will be taking how much time? 1 divided by 1 gigahertz means 1 divided by 10 to the power 9 means 1 nanosecond, right? So, based on that, total execution time that we can calculate over here, right? So, now I'll be explaining you how to identify execution time. So, when we want to understand how execution time is happening, so that is there based on how many instructions are there inside a program. Let us say n instructions are there into how many clocks are there in single instruction. So, that is CPI, clock per instruction, and divide by crystal frequency, that will be execution time. But here, my dear students, as I have told you, this CPI, that is not constant, that will change with respect to categories of instruction. So, here we need to understand how to calculate average CPI, right? So, in this formula, you will have to understand this CPI, that should be average CPI when you calculate execution time, right? Now, I am going to explain you how to identify average CPI. So, for that, if you observe here, I am just giving you one case study. In that, you see here instruction categories are there, like ALU instructions are there, load store instructions are there, branch instructions are there, and other instructions are there. And number of instructions that is given over here, and with various categories of instructions, if you see CPI are different, right? Like ALU instruction, that is having 2 CPI over here, load store is having 3 CPI, that is how case study is given. So, how to identify average CPI? So, simply by taking average of this. Now, how to calculate average? Average means 40 into 2 plus 15 into 3 plus 35 into 4 plus 10 into 5 divided by total instruction, that will gives you average CPI. Let me write that 40 into 2 plus 15 into 3 plus 35 into 4 plus 10 into 5 divided by this many instructions. So, those are 40 plus 15 plus 35 plus 10, that is 100. So, my average CPI over here will be 3.15. So, for this particular case study, average CPI is 3.15, right? So, here you should know the generalized formula. Let me explain you how to write generalized formula for average CPI calculation. The reason is we will be going to use it in future coming examples, right? So, when you talk about how to calculate average CPI, then you should know average CPI, that is summation of number of instruction of ith category into CPI of ith category, where I will vary from 1 to x. So, what is I over here? I is categories of instruction, right? Divide by summation of Ni, where I varies from 1 to x. See, that is what we have done it over here, right? Summation of Ni into CPI, this is Ni, this is CPI, divided by summation of Ni, right? Where I, that is categories of instruction, that varies from 1 to x, right? So, that is how we can use this formula to have a calculation of average CPI. Now, my dear students, I am going to explain you how to identify MIPS. If you observe MIPS, then you should know MIPS means million instructions per second. So, this million instruction per second explains what? How fast CPU is executing program, right? For example, if I give you one simple problem over here, like let us say I am having MIPS, that is 2000. What it means? 2000 million instruction that is been executed by CPU in 1 second. So, based on that, you can understand how fast CPU is, right? So, here many of the times you will be observing there may be question based on what is MIPS of given CPU. So, MIPS means what? How many million instructions that is been executed in a single second. Let us try to understand how to calculate that, right? To understand how to calculate MIPS, my dear students, you should have first idea about how many instructions that we are executing over here. Divide by total execution time, and here as per the definition, see, million instructions per second. So here divide by million means 10 to the power 6 that you need to do. So this is how basically we can calculate MIPS. Now if you want bit more detailed calculation, then you see T is execution time. So I have already explained you how to calculate execution time. Number of instruction into CPI average divided by clock frequency, right? So here, as if you place that over here, then you can have bit detailed calculation into 10 to the power 6. So you see this n and this n will get cancelled, and you will be having MIPS means million instruction per second, where this F clock that will go in numerator, and you can have MIPS, that is F clock divided by average CPI into 10 to the power 6. So this is how basically we can calculate MIPS means millions instructions per second. So here I have explained you three things. First is how to identify execution time. Execution time is number of instructions into average CPI divided by clock frequency, right? Secondly, I have explained you how to find average CPI. So average CPI, that is summation of Ni into CPII divided by summation of Ni, right? And then I have explained you how to find MIPS. MIPS is F clock divided by average CPI into 10 to the power 6. And these are the formulas that we will be using it in future for a calculation of parameters which are there based on CPU's performance. I hope it is clear to you. Still, if anything that you like to share it with me, please note it down in comment box. I'll be happy to help you. Thank you so much for watching this video.